Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of episode 2 of the 40K Roundtable discussion. We are still talking about the 5th edition core rule set, and my panel of JeremiahDrigg, SolidSmurf, and TonyPonyF. We're moving on to question number 4, which is, what rule in your experience is most overlooked or misinterpreted in 40K games? And for this, I think, who do we leave off on? Solid? Let's have you go next.
Smurf.
Okay. I'm going to go with all of them. Mainly because...
This is supposed to aid people, Smurf.
Well, I mean, I've
What's
never
hard about
played...
driving? Everything!
Because I've never played a game where there's a constant rule that everyone overlooks. It's always something different. So, I can honestly say all of them. I mean... People need to read more! Okay, I'm done.
Okay. All right, Tony, how about your take on this?
Oh, it's got to be true line of sight, which is the most simple, it's the most complicated rule that you're ever going to come across. Things like area terrain that they still have existing that doesn't really fit. It's a 4th edition concept stuck in a 5th edition game. The big argument we get into is the total volume of a vehicle. You know, when a monstrous creature, when people try to hide their warwalkers, is the warwalker a cylinder shape, and you know we count the whole thing, or if only the little tiny pencil's thin legs are showing, but the massive torso showing, is that half the model covered? We don't know, and the 5th edition rulebook doesn't fix it, and I don't think they're ever going to find a reason to fix it.
All right, Jeremiah, your turn. What do you think about this?
You know, for me, being the average gamer, as I've said once before earlier, for me, it's the troop specific rules. I tend to forget that, you know, sometimes that, hey, this unit can do this, you know, or this unit can do that, you know. So for me, it's those unit specific rules, and it's not all the time, but you know, you get about 2 turns into it, and you just sit there and you're like, oh wait, I should have done this. This should have happened, you know? So, for me, it's those kinds of rules, not so much the core.
Okay. My take on it is, I was going to say, because the Black Templar drop pods can fire on the turn they arrive. Eat that, 5th edition Space Marines, but since I'm really talking about the core...
Enjoy your storm shield.
Rah! Yeah, exactly. So, but really talking about the main 5th edition core rule set, I think the rule that is most often overlooked and misinterpreted is the most important rule. What is that? Is that this game is supposed to be fun and not actually based on, power gaming. Because quite honestly, I think that is the thing that is causing a lot of breakdown in the rule system and people literally wanting to believe that a rule is X when it's really Y.
Yeah.
Continued discussion.
You know, that's why we make it a house rule. You have to have all comers lists. You can't have a list specific to trying to beat somebody, or you know, an Uber list that is out on the web. You know, we want everybody to have fun, and if you're not having fun, like you said, there's no point in anybody even coming over and playing. You're just wasting everybody's time. In my opinion.
Why look up the rules if the way that you're breaking them makes your army have the big W? That's the real problem. Tony, I totally disagree with you on area terrain, buddy, because I really think that area terrain is necessary for those poor 6+ armored orcs and Tyranid out there. But any further thoughts on this whole question?
I agree with area terrain. I just think they need to write it better because they have a whole page about how true line of sight works, and they go, but there's this template here that is infinite woods. I think the rule set is good, and I think GW could make steps to make the game less competitive, but I honestly don't think they really want to do that. I think they want to keep it this high competitive game. And like I tell everybody, because our store has all different types of gamers, I say to them, you know, this hobby is what you make out of it, and that's it. And you play to enjoy it. The day it becomes work, the day it becomes something you worry about, you got to stop and you got to walk away from it.
Exactly. I kind of just, as a follow-on thought again to you, Tony, I kind of think that they did true line of sight to really get rid of the 4th edition concept of I'm in 2 inches of the terrain, now you can't see me, more than really getting rid of area terrain. Smurf, what's your thoughts on any additional thoughts you want to throw on this one?
Psychic skills and attacks. People don't get them. They don't understand them. They don't know how to do them right.
Fantastic.
I'm done.
Throw the gavel down. I like that. Anyways, question number 5: What rule in the 5th edition core rule set needs to be changed or made more clear? No codex rules for this question. Tony, you are up.
I need to update the frickin' index because it doesn't make any sense in the back of the book. But I'm still good. You can't find anything. Fantasy rule books are so fantastic, but I'm gonna go with, again, true line of sight. I agree with the system. I think it's great. I think they thought along the mind of a casual gamer. Oh, we'll just take a true line of sight. But I don't think the power gamer follows that. I think they need a little bit more description, especially with the vehicles and monstrous creature. What's a 3-up save? What's a 5-up save? What does half the model mean? Is it volume of the model, or is it just this model is a cylinder on its base and it takes up X? You know, things of that nature. I think a little bit more clarification there would make the game go a lot faster.
All right. Jeremiah, you're up.
You know, I've sat and thought long and hard about this one, and I could not think of one. You know, I mean, to me, for the average gamer, the rules are pretty clear. If I have a problem, that's what they have the rules boys for. Give them a call and get it settled. You know, I mean, the rules are there to have fun. You know, maybe in the next edition they might clean something up, but you know, to me they're fine.
So everything's RTFM, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. You know,
Smurf, you're up, my man. Go ahead. How would you answer this question?
Vehicle types, movements, and what weapons they can fire. Because fast vehicles, skimmers, open top, they throw everything out the window and change every little bit about the vehicle to the point where nobody knows what they're moving, what they're doing, and what they're shooting. So I gotta say, vehicles.
Nice.
Vehicles, yes.
I think one thing that needs to be made a little bit more clear, that I think for some reason people get wrong quite a bit when I play, is deep strike rules. Between that and area terrain were the two that I had on my top of my list, but I'm just going to say, if you deep strike off the table, if you scatter off the table, yeah, it's a deep strike mishap. Don't be confused about that. Further discussion regarding question number 5, people?
Wait a second. That's a mishap? You don't die?
No, you don't
on
die.
That?
Yeah, it's a mishap.
Really? I thought you died on it. I thought you went
removed. Back in your foam case and you hung out.
I thought the unit was removed in the
casual world, so.
That's crazy. I didn't realize that.
Well, there's a lot of people also, there's a lot of people that kind of get it wrong, especially with dealing with drop pods. So they're like, it's impassable. No, it's a mishap, buddy. That's the one drop pod no. So
stuff like when you're hitting a blast template on a vehicle and it scatters and it's over like that back corner, is it on rear armor? Is it on side? You do the armor value facing you? You know, there's all sorts of stuff. We don't have vehicles.
It's armor value facing. I hate to keep stats popping your balloon here, but
no, dude, stop my balloon. I want to know what happens.
It's armor value facing.
No, I have all these kids that are like, no, it goes on the top armor. I'm like, what?
Top armor.
Where are you getting that?
Top armor on the Tiger tank.
Nice. I think it's always armor facing, and Jeremiah, you okay with that?
I think it is too.
Okay, I think it's always armor facing unless the center of the circle is actually off the vehicle, at which point it's the side that the blast hits the vehicle. But we don't have enough time to answer that question.
You know, I got another question.
You gotta
should say it with authority next time.
The extra commentary.
Yeah, right. Exactly. We got special features on the DVD only. Yours for $14.95. Question number 6, and this again is the feature of the 40K roundtable discussion about the prediction. Make a prediction, no matter how outlandish, about either the current or future edition of Warhammer 40K. And for this, we are going to go to TonyPonyF.
I'm gonna pull out the old business ethic right here. I don't see the gaming system of 40K or GW, for that matter, being around when my children come out. And in case you have any idea when that is, probably by the year 2025, I don't see GW being sustainable enough to keep doing what it's doing. We'll play something else. We'll play marbles or some shit, but we'll figure out something else. But I don't see them being around beyond 2025. I think their quarterly reports reflect that.
TonyPonyF, always touching the boundaries of PG rating. Let's go to JeremiahDrigg. What's your prediction, my man?
I predict that this game will become let's see here, very much more accessible to other people, as in expense, and everybody will get a free army sent to their house along with the rule book and any other thing that you might deem worthy.
Fantastic.
I'm just saying.
Like, what did I write? What did I write? What should I read?
Whatever you're on, send me some in the mail, please. God.
Exactly.
Some of that.
Jeremiah taking Outlandish to a new extreme. SolidSmurf, what's your prediction?
I think it's going to be semi-complicated and filled with spelling and grammar mistakes. I really do.
Spell check was broken.
We have game designers writing rules, so they understand what they're trying to say. Their brain just doesn't connect to, they can understand it easily if I write it this way. No, we can't have like an English teacher write up the rules for us to where we can understand it. They got to be all technical about it. So
it's that British English.
Okay, I apologize for not being quite as crazy as some of these guys. My prediction is actually that in the 6th edition we might actually see something that it would be the only way to counteract Tony's prediction, and that is that the 6th edition rulebook will go back to Rogue Trader days, and we'll actually get, instead of all this ridiculous fluff that is honestly fairly worthless in the rulebook, we'll actually get a fresh codex for every single army that GW has, and I think it's the only way they're going to have a sustainability beyond much more. So that's my prediction.
Reset button.
Yep, it's the reset button. Guys, thank you so much for joining us for the roundtable discussion. I want to thank my panel again, JeremiahDrigg, TonyPonyF, and SolidSmurf. Thank you so much for joining with us, and we will see you again at some future roundtable discussion. Take it easy, guys.
Wahoo!